Yo, what up? It's JB. Today we're going to look at the beginner's approach or intermediate approach at just making drum loops. So I want to keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it simple. So we have a Leo Cap Essential Sample Pack. He has it available for purchase on his Bandcamp. I will link that below. Shout out Leo Cap, Black Barrel. So we're just going to go ahead and grab a kick drum and dive right on into this and figure out how we're going to make the basis of our song. So we're going to look at the kicks. All right, I like that one, so I'm going to drag it out here. And I put a time signature right here that says drop. And for example, I have intro, drop, change, mix out, just so I kind of know where I am. Because sometimes when you open Ableton, it can be daunting to see a giant blank space, giant blank canvas. So you want to break it down into 4 bars, and then you have 4 bars you like. You can go into 8 bars and so on and so forth. Use the intro to, you know, do different things. We're gonna stay on drums here though. Anyways, so I'm just gonna go ahead and duplicate this out. How I did that is I highlighted it and hit Command D for Mac. And to make sure you're on the one, you could always right click, go to fixed grid, and click on 1 bar. So then you would only be able to work in 1 bar here. And so if I tried to move this, it would automatically jump. And if you don't know if you're on the grid or not, sometimes turning on the metronome up here is not a bad idea. So you can cut that on. So it sure as heck sounds like we're on the Uno. So let's get a snare. Perfect. Thanks, Leo Cap. So we're going to put this on the 3. So to do that, say I was just kind of starting from scratch here. So I would take it, I would drag it out, probably in the middle. So if you really don't know where the 3 is, eventually you'll figure it out. You'll know exactly where to put it. But do you see how it says 17.2, 17.3, 17.4, 18 up here at the top? So that means it's 1 4-bar loop. So you can put it on the 3 for 140s and know you have a boom cat. So let's see kind of where we are with that. Boom. And so what you can do is just kind of duplicate that out. We're going to cut the metronome off right now. And so we just have a kick and a snare. So the next thing we're going to do is right click, add audio. I'm going to change this to snare while I'm thinking about it. And so we're going to go check out some of Leo Cap's hats here. Okay, so that's kind of a cool one. So you know how we right clicked and we've been working with the fixed grid here where it says 8, 4, 2, 1, half bar, quarter notes, so on and so forth. So with hats, you can actually get a little bit, be a little different with it. So we're just going to take this hat, we're just going to kind of duplicate that a few times. And so make sure that you stay on that grid there, because like you can see how this has a little bit of space in it. And later on, you could always take your hi-hats and take them off the grid, because it's funny, you want to learn how to produce and make it sound good, but too much on the grid will hurt you. And it's funny, you can actually take this button down here, if you can see my mouse, that'll open this up and you can actually take it back a few seconds, totally to your discretion. So while we're staying kind of on task here, so that little space I was talking about, I might just like consolidate it, just so I know that it is going to be 1/4 of a bar. So I can go ahead and duplicate those out, and we'll go all the way with it. So we pretty much have a drum loop here. So you get the gist, right? And so something you could do to add a little flavor is maybe take out the first 2 and the last one. And then maybe even like take one of them and reverse it. You can reverse it to click on it, hit reverse. So let's see what kind of flow we got here. Okay, cool. So not bad. We're going to take these drums and we're going to add a little bit of flavor in here. And so I'll lock the grid to 1/8, I suppose. And we're actually going to just play around a little bit, see what makes sense, what doesn't. This is where you can actually use your ears to see what you like and what you don't like. And so I think that did pretty well. So say I wanted to add like a little phantom kick right here. Excuse me. So I could turn it down in velocity, and let's see what it sounds like. You see what I'm saying? Let's listen to it in context. So yeah, and let's see. So to kind of fill up some space, something that you can do if you would like is go try to find any sort of maybe perk loop. So we're using samples today, if you can't tell yet. So we'll use a semantic sample. We'll click through these and see if we can find something just real quick. Okay, sure, sounds good. So it's not going to sound good unless we do something to it. So we just have a regular perk loop here. I'm going to double time it and leave it on beats and put it on one of these preserves here. Turn the decay down just a hair. Then put it so it only goes one way. And let's see what it sounds like now. Okay, so not bad, right? So we're going to keep going with drums because we want to have cool drums. So Mikrodot has a sample pack out as well. I'll link that. This is where you can get these reverses. Of course, you know, I have a tutorial where I make white noise risers, but for the sake of this tutorial, we're going to use a Mikrodot sample. Okay, there we go. So we're going to shorten it, put it right here, and then probably turn it down just a little bit. So we're going to have the impact of that snare. So here we go, context time. And so you could even, honestly, if you wanted to, put that here at the end to help with the transition of the beat, and maybe just take some of this stuff out. So yeah, not a bad little idea there. Something also you could do is take like a trap clap. We'll use that one. Why not, right? And to add some distinction to your snares so it doesn't sound like a robot, you can reverb the heck out of a snare. And so when it hits, you just hear this big, roomy, wide, just reverb out snare. So let's get some I want to hear this in context. I mean, I would even probably want that to be a little bit longer of a tail. And I mean, if you even wanted to get crazier with it, you could hit it with an auto pan at the end of it. So when it hits, you can take it and make it go down. Like, you know, it's a short sound, so it might not really flex all that much. And it really sounds like it's moving pretty quick. So I don't know, just an idea. We're just kind of throwing stuff together now. So I'm going to take that off actually. So we have all of this in our drum rack. So what we'll do is start EQing. This is going to be totally relative. Totally relative. So there's linear phase EQs, and then there's another EQ that I can't remember right now. But a linear phase EQ is more like for volume, from what I understand. It doesn't like affect other frequencies all too much. So I know FabFilter will do that. I think that's right. I may be wrong. So I just added a little boost right there in the low range. And if it's redlining, you know, depends on if you want distortion or not. Eventually, you're going to have to watch that audio at some point, or maybe not. So it's really just totally up to you. I would kind of soft clip it just a little bit, so we're not just smashing it. So, and a lot of these samples, y'all, are already going to be processed, so there's really no point in running them through too much more. Especially somebody like Leo Cap, who's really running his stuff through a lot of plugins. So. So I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but it sounds like this snare and this snare are running into each other, even though it's supposed to be a layer. So let's look at this one. So it's hitting around 1.38. So we're actually going to take this snare, and at 1.38, we're going to dip that down a little bit, make room so we can all fit in the box here. Just look at this sound as a room, you know what I mean? And you want everybody to be able to fit in the room comfortably. You don't want to be shoulder to shoulder people, or you do, you know? Just think of it in terms of that. So let's see if we have any sort of a difference here. Yeah. One more time. So let's let them run into each other again. So it's all about making room. All right, so a little processing for the hats. So you can get creative with this. What I like to do is just a little bit of auto pan here. You know, just kind of let them flow. Maybe a little chorus. I've even seen people put white noise on it before. That's kind of cool, kind of cool. All right, we'll do this perk loop next. So we'll do a little bit of a metallic sound. Let's see. So we're going to take the delay. We're going to take the time of the delay. We're going to move it back just a little bit. I'm going to solo it because we're going to do a little bit of work with this one, so we want to hear it. A little bit more metallic-y, right? A little bit more ping, you know, a little bit more wetness. So a little equal, or not equalizer, but an OTT after that. And you remember 1.38 is where that snare was hitting, and we would hate for those two to collide. So we're going to pull that down, and we're going to take this. We're going to take this back just enough to where that kick can come through as well. So all together now, after just very minimal mixing, I mean, it's under 15 minutes now at this point. So nice little throwdown there. Let's see. All right, so we're going to take one more look here. So this is totally going to be relative as well. I like running my drum chain through punch and parallel. If you wanted to do a saturator, you could do a saturator. Definitely going to be a little bit louder, a little bit louder of a feel. So I've used drum bus before, and I've used it a lot in the past. You really need to make sure that you can like type in the frequency here and the dampness. I mean, it's going to be more of a feel, I guess, if you wanted to, but I haven't used it as much because saturator really gets the point across. Like, I don't really love what it does to that kick. I don't love it, you know? So, we'll just listen and just play with it and see if we can find anything. So you can kind of see what the idea is there. Just play with stuff. Just play with it. Sometimes I've seen, you know, you could even use something like Little Radiator. If anybody has this, it's a kind of a cool plugin. It's about $30. I think I saw Tony and Sound using it, and they're just great. So this can add some texture to your drums as well. So that's kind of the idea. I don't want to take it too crazy right now, but how many channels is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 channels, and we really have a good starting point to kind of make a song. So don't forget to put your kick in mono. Just help for mix's sake. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at for the beginner's drums. You can start kind of duplicating it. And when you know like it's time to change something, maybe take like a kick out here, maybe take a hat out here, maybe take it to 32 when the second snare hits, and start rolling those. So just to give you a little bit of an idea of bounce and kind of what we're looking at with that is, I'm going to let you hear kind of what this transition sounds like. So here we go. You see how that instantly just gets a little bit more, things happening. So you can take these hi-hats, complex, clip, transposition, take it, and then just drop it all the way down or all the way up. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at with drums. I really won't do too much, but we'll catch you guys next time. Much love.